What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brian and I are going to have a great show for you this Tuesday. Get you ready for the betting week. Brian, hope you had a good weekend, man. It's good to see you.
I did, man. How'd you do on the Derby?
Well, let me say this. I did fine on bets at the house with the people that I was at.
Yeah.
Essential Quality obviously did not come through. Bob Baffert got me again. Like, when are we, anyone going to learn our lesson? You just don't bet against Bob Baffert. Like, this guy's just going to find ways to win, right?
I feel like he wins like every year. I did see on social media you were whipping up some nice cocktails there early on Saturday.
Yeah, we had a nice one, man. We had a nice little celebration, for some friends, and we were able to get everybody together. Yeah, we were making mint juleps all day, dude. It was nice.
Nice. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. So, everybody, welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. I'm Alan Bell, CBS Sportsline, alongside Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks is brought to you every Tuesday and Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Everyone, make sure download the BetMGM app now if you haven't done it. Sign up, get your account going, because we have an amazing promo code for you today, which, if you haven't signed up yet, you are going to want to do this right now. If you use promo code A to Z 100, that's A to Z 100, and if you place a $1 money line wager on either the Braves or the Nationals, all right, you will get $100 if either the Braves or the Nationals hit a home run. It's literally that simple. So download the app. Make sure to do it now. It's the perfect time to do it. That is BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. So, Brian, we had an awesome sports weekend. The NFL draft is over. We had the Kentucky Derby going on alongside a bunch of other sports. But where I want to start is the NFL. All right, I love the NFL. I cannot wait to bet it. I can't wait for games to start. This weekend got me going, right? Like, it got the juices flowing. So I want to start right there, and let's look at what to wager now that the NFL draft is over, okay? So we see, a lot of futures bets that are available on BetMGM. We've got team total wins. We've got who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to win divisions, who's going to win the conference. I mean, anything that you can think of. We've got Rookie of the Year. We've got MVP. It is fantastic. So I want to go and just kind of start breaking down some of these plays that we're going to right now. So you want me to go first? You want to go first? How you want to do it?
I'll go first with a couple that I like.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over 8. Now, I don't like the price that I'm looking at right here from one book. It's in the 130s, but over 8 on the Washington football team. I think they have the best. I know they got the best front four in the NFL, and I think they've got one of the best defenses. I think Fitzpatrick will be an upgrade for them at QB, and I think their defense will carry them back to the playoffs. And at risk of repeating myself, because I think I've already said all this, I think the Jags are going to be horrible. I think Oscar Meyer, I call him Oscar. O-S-C-A-R for the old hot dog commercial. Anyway, Oscar Meyer, Urban, that is. And I don't like the price on that. Under 6.5 is in the 130s, so I wouldn't recommend risking a whole lot with that minus 130 and change juice. But I like Washington's defense, and I do not like Jacksonville. I don't really like anything about them. I mean, I like Trevor, but I mean, it's a rookie walking into a situation that's not great in my opinion. So those are the two that I'm staring at. Again, I'm not saying high money because I don't like the minus 130 and change juice, but Washington football team over and Jags under 6.5, and that Washington was over 8.
Nice. I like it. So I've got multiple here. I'll break down each one, but here's kind of where I'm at. All right, first one. Kansas City Chiefs over 12 wins. We've talked about this before. We're looking at a 17-game schedule. Again, I don't think that the Chiefs lose more than 5 games, but even if they do lose 5, all right, I'm still pushing on this one. And you look at the Chiefs, they've covered the total, the over of wins 8 straight years. I don't see any reason why they don't do it again this year, especially what they've done, all the work they've done for their offensive line. They really haven't lost anyone, of note. So, yeah, I'm going to roll that one. Second one, I've got the Jets under 6 wins. And here's why. I like Robert Saleh. I think he's going to do a great job with the Jets. However, buddy, it's going to take some time. Okay. They've got a brand new quarterback, a rookie quarterback coming in that is going to be their guy from day one. I like Zach Wilson. I think that, I think that he could do some things, but again, he's young. You look at the team, they've started building around him. They're going to be young. And quite frankly, you look at that division, the AFC East is doing nothing but getting better. The Patriots are going to be better than they were last year. The Bills are probably going to be roughly around where they were last year, which was fantastic. And the Miami Dolphins are getting better as well. So I don't know where the Jets are going to pick up 6 or more wins, so I'm going to ride that under. Now,
I agree with you on that one. But go ahead.
I'm with you. Yeah, no, Green Bay Packers under 11 wins. Okay, here's basically what I'm banking on. I don't think that we're going to have a second year of Aaron Rodgers being pissed off and going to win the MVP. Now, can he? Absolutely. He might be the best quarterback in the NFL right now, just in terms of pure statistics and what he can do. But I'm basically banking on that this is the year that this thing is going to blow up. First, he might be traded, which I don't know. Again, if that's going to happen, might not happen. But again, I don't think like last year was the time to really show them who he is. He just did that. He's not going to do that again. So I'm going to ride the under 11 there. And again,
hey, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. About him potentially getting traded.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not so sure he's not going to just hold out and make them trade him.
He might, honestly.
I mean, his dude is pissed off.
Pissed off.
How can you blame him? I don't know who sent the tweet the other day. I saw ever since he got drafted by the Packers, they have not taken one skill player, running back, tight end, wide receiver, other than Jordan Love in the first round. His entire Packers tenure. When I saw that, I was like, no wonder dude is pissed.
Yeah, I'll tell you. That was my tweet, and I'll give you the numbers. So they've drafted one offensive.
My bad hat tip, brother. My fault.
No. I'm not worried about that. What I'm saying is this: they've taken one offensive skill player in the first round since 2012, and that was Jordan Love last year, who they didn't even tell him that they're going to trade for him, and they traded up to do it. All right, so that's kind of where this rift came. Here's another one. The Packers haven't drafted a wide receiver in the first round of the NFL draft since 2002. Here's the last one on that. The Jaguars have already drafted more skill position players for Aaron Rodgers to play than the Packers have for Aaron Rodgers. Like for Trevor Lawrence, than the Packers have for Aaron Rodgers.
Right, I got you.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. So essentially that's what I'm banking on, is that last year was the perfect scenario for positive. There's no that's not happening again. Like everything else seems negative, whether they trade him, whether they, he holds out, whatever. I'm riding the under on that one. Next one, Saints over 9.5 wins. This one sounds a little crazy. Drew Brees retired. They don't really know who their starting quarterback is between Jameis, between Taysom Hill. But look, this defense is the team. People don't realize that. Like, this defense is legit. They haven't changed whatsoever. Sean Payton knows what he's doing. We've seen him with backup quarterbacks, whether it's Teddy, whether it's Taysom. They win games, right? So I think that they're going to be better than people think. Again, it's going to be a tough division, but I'm going to ride the over 9.5, and I'll run through these really quickly because I got a couple more. 49ers over 10 wins. I think that they're going to be a better team than people think. They had injuries all over the board last year of major stars. I've got the Falcons, your Falcons, over 7 wins. I think that they're going to be a much better team than people think. I've got the Eagles under 7 wins. I don't trust what they're doing, even though I like Jalen Hurts. I like Devontae Smith. They just have a lot of work to do on that team. And then going into 2 Rookie of the Year picks, I'm going to play Kyle Pitts at plus 1,000, and I'm going to play Jamar Chase at plus 1,100 because I think that it probably comes down to one of those 2 guys. And my last one, the Titans win the AFC South plus 110. All right, the Colts are basically even at plus 100. I think the Titans are a better team than the Colts. I think the Titans have a better quarterback than the Colts. I think the Titans have a better defense than the Colts. And I think the Titans are better coached than the Colts. So that's why I'm taking it right now. I wish I got it at better odds. But again, I'm going to ride with the Titans on that. So
that's a 2-team race. You know that. The Texans and Jags are going to be garbage. Obviously, I co-signed the Kyle Pitts Offensive Rookie of the Year. And I think that Jamar Chase, and I think he's probably the next best candidate. And I would throw that Devontae Smith and Najee Harris might be in that mix. But I like your thinking on both of those because pure profit taking both. I think you're going to get one of the 2. out of Chase, unless it's Devontae Smith, and they're both nice odds.
Yeah, exactly. And especially if you're looking at just the offensive rookie of the year, wagers. I mean, if we're talking plus 1,000, plus 1,100, play 6 of them, right? Like you
Right.
as long as you're not playing Trevor Lawrence, who I think is, I didn't see his number, but it's probably somewhere around even minus 100, minus 110, something like that. Like as long as you're not playing him, I mean, you could play multiple people, and kind of give yourself the best odds, in terms of just hitting the bet, right? So, let me take a breath there. I just went heavy on the NFL. I'm telling you, I can't wait, man. This weekend got me just invigorated for it. Like I'm excited. So now, all right. So let's look at today. Let's make some bets on today. Those are all futures, and they're nice and they're fun, and we'll keep adding them, throughout the offseason. But looking at today and what we have, right? So let's pick 2 games on the schedule today, whether it be baseball, basketball, hockey, doesn't matter. Let's pick 2 games, find some winners. You, Mr. Brian Edwards, have on our Friday show, you've hit 3 Friday parlays in a row. I definitely want to give you props on that. And I want to give you the stage right now because you're crushing it, my man. What 2 games are you playing today?
Thank you, sir. Well, I want to, and I hate to be like this, but I'm not like last night I had the Hawks and the Wizards, and I loved both of them, and I got heavy on them. But tonight, I'm not like super duper bullish. I mean, I got picks. Don't get me wrong. I think they're going to win. I hope they're going to win. But I'm not going to be risking as much amount-wise as I was last night. But I'm going to go with the Sacramento Kings -5 at OKC. Sacramento, despite De'Aaron Fox, their best player, being out, Tyrese Halliburton is also going to be out tonight, and Harrison Barnes is doubtful. So that's 3 of their top probably 5 players. But Fox has been out, and Halliburton has been banged up, and they have still won 4 of their last 6 games, including winning by double digits at Dallas the other night, which was a pretty big surprise. And they are 6-2-1 against the spread in their last 9. Now, OKC has been a total fade team for more than a month now, ever since they started resting Horford and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got hurt. Now, they've been a little better here in the last week or 2, but that's mostly like double-digit dog spots, and they're only catching 5 tonight. And when I say they've been a little decent, I mean, like they're 4-4 against the spread their last 8, whereas they had lost so many straight up and ATS for like a 3 to 5 week stretch prior to that. So even though Sacramento's missing some good players, they've got pretty good depth. And I'm going to go with Sacramento -5 at OKC. I'm more than anything fading OKC there. Then I am also going to go the over on Dallas at Miami, which is 216. The over is on a 6-0 run for Miami, and their last 3 games have had combined scores of 232, 231, and 227, and we're looking at a 216 total tonight. The over has cashed in 3 of Dallas's last 4. Those combined scores on the 3 overs were 249, 220, and 236. So I think we've got a low total here. 2 teams that have been scoring a pretty high amount of points for their standards. So we'll go over 216, Dallas at Miami, and Sacramento -5 at OKC.
I like it. I like it. Now, I'm going to go Major League Baseball for 2 of my games. But here's the thing. One of them is a risky bet. I'm going to play it. Decide for yourself if anybody else wants to. I'm going to throw in a 3rd pick just in case if you don't want to do it. I certainly understand. And I'll just start with that game. Mets at Cardinals over 6.5. Here's the thing. Jacob deGrom's on the mound for the Mets, and the Mets just fired their hitting coach last night. I totally get it. If people don't want to, ride that over, because you look at what deGrom's done, he's phenomenal on the mound. He generally, the sad thing is that he'll give up literally maybe 1 earned run and they'll lose, right? Like that's how the Mets have been. So I totally get it. But what I'm looking at is this. The Mets are 66% to the over on the road. The Cardinals have scored 28 runs in their last 4 games. So for me personally, it's worth the risk. I'm going to ride it. But again, if others don't want to, I certainly understand that. If you want to mix in another game, I'm going to look at the Islanders and Sabres under 6. And here's some stats on that. The Islanders are 84% to the under on the road, and the Sabres are 8-4-1 to the under on the second of a back-to-back. So if you're looking for something to supplement that Mets-Cardinals game, I think you've got a good one right there. Also, my other game that I had, the Reds versus the White Sox, I'm going to take the Reds plus 1.5. Again, I think the Reds win this game outright. The White Sox have lost 58% of their games as a road favorite, and the Reds are 66% after a day off straight up. So again, I think the Reds probably do win this straight up. It could be something to where they win by 1 run. But again, I'm just going to ride the plus 1.5. I'm going to eat the juice and give myself a little bit of insurance there. But yeah, so those are the 3 games that I'm going to play. Again, I certainly understand if people don't want to ride the Mets Cardinals, it's a risk for sure. Anytime DeGrom's on the mound to play it over. But I'm thinking that this is the game to do it. Now, BetMGM, and again, everyone, if you use promo code A to Z 100 and you bet place a $1 money line bet on either the Braves or the Nationals tonight, if they hit a home run, you win $100. So if you have not downloaded that app yet and signed up, this is the perfect time to do it. And the reason I bring that up is that BetMGM has a really nice odds boost, kind of opportunity prop bet to play tonight. And it's Kyrie Irving to score the first field goal of the game. It was plus 500. It's now been boosted to 600. So, Brian, I'm going to kick it to you first. What do you think about, these bets as a whole, whether it's first field goal in the NBA, first goal in, NHL, we see these things. So looking at the NBA, what do you think about that bet? And then how do you feel about Kyrie with it?
Well, when you have those kind of bets in football, like a player to score the first touchdown, at least there's a little, strategy in it that, all right, so down in the red zone, whatever quarterback A is normally looking for wide receiver B or what, you have a little more strategy. In the NBA, the first bucket of a game is just so impossible to read. I mean, obviously, you think that, Kyrie, KD, Giannis are the most likely, and plus 600 does, 20 gets you 120. But in NBA, just the first bucket, I'm just not a big fan of that, just because it's just so hard to read. But if I had to pick it would probably be KD, Kyrie, or Giannis. So at plus 600, maybe give it a shot. I'm not pushing anybody to give it a shot, but it's nice of our friends at BetMGM to give a little boost. So regardless.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of those bets where it's legitimately, you understand what it is, and it's something to have a little fun with. Put a little bit of money on, like you say, a baby play. It's not something that you're going to put full units on or anything like that. But if you could get plus 600, especially with a guy like Kyrie, I think it's worth a little bit of a shot. I'm going to play it tonight just to see how it goes. Again, I'm not going to put much on it at all, but I do think that it's fun, and I love playing first goal bets in the NHL. I haven't really done too many, with the NBA. So I'm going to have some fun with it tonight. Plus 600. It's worth a little bit of a shot to me. Now, moving to our next segment, which this kind of goes with bets like that, right? So what we want to do is we want to identify some streaks, trends, just interesting numbers that we see across sports in any league whatsoever. So, Brian, I'm going to kick it to you first. What are you seeing lately? Are there any streaks that we need to know about? Any trends that you're finding that you're playing off of?
Well, I know that I've been pushing the New Orleans overs all year, but you probably haven't heard much about it from me in the last week or so, and there's a reason for that. The under is on a 5-1 run for New Orleans. So hopefully none of you have been back in the overs with New Orleans. Those numbers have gotten up pretty high, and the unders are actually cashing here in the last 10 days to 2 weeks. The under is also on a 5-0 run for the Clippers, who are in action tonight with a total of 219. They are hosting Toronto. I mentioned, because I'm on the over for Dallas, Miami tonight. The over's hitting 6 straight for Miami, 3 of the last 4 for Dallas. The over is on a 14-5 run for Phoenix, and Phoenix has won 4 games in a row, and they are minus 12.5 or minus 13 tonight at Cleveland. And speaking of the Cavs, they have lost 6 in a row, both straight up and against the spread. excuse me, and are mired in a 1-9 slump, both straight up and against the spread. So Phoenix, for a money line parlay, I think Phoenix would be automatic tonight. Toronto just played really well and beat the Lakers with LeBron and Anthony Davis the other night. So I won't say the Clippers is automatic, but they're pretty healthy right now, and they might even get Patrick Beverley back tonight. And OG Anunoby is out for Toronto, as is Chris Boucher. So I think the Clippers would be good in a money line parlay along with Phoenix, and maybe you could throw Sacramento in there as well in a money line parlay rather than minus the 5. And I would think that would be a small plus. It wouldn't be much of a plus. Other teams that are hot, obviously the Knicks, who are now an incredible 15-1 against the spread. In their last 16, they win by double digits at Memphis last night, even though they were in a back-to-back spot, and even though their starting center and rim protector Nerlens Noel was out. They are off tonight, however. Unfortunately, the Wizards are off tonight, too. I know y'all have been hearing me talk about them for weeks, and they are just balling. They are a problem. They are 13-3 straight up in their last 16. 9 of those 13 wins by 9 points or more, and they are 14-3 against the spread in their last 17. And I know y'all have heard me say 2 of those non-covers were kind of nonsense. One was by a half point, and I pushed on that one because it was minus 12 and a 12-point win over OKC. And the other one, or another one of their non-covers, they were +4 all day while Russell Westbrook was questionable, and the line moved to 2.5 like around 5 or 6 o'clock that evening, and they lost by 3 in overtime. So they're 14-3 against the spread in their last 17, but if you back them every game, you might even have a better record than that. And Atlanta, which is also off tonight, but they host Phoenix tomorrow, and Phoenix, like I said, plays at Cleveland tonight. So Phoenix will be in a back-to-back spot tomorrow. Atlanta has won 6 in a row, both straight up and against the spread at home, specifically at home. And the Hawks are 14-2, both straight up and against the spread in their last 16 at home. And my Hawks are finally almost healthy. The only 2 guys that remain out are Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter. But, I mean, they've had so many games the last couple of weeks where they've had 5, 6 guys out. They're almost to full strength, and I don't know if we can even count on Reddish or Hunter being back for the playoffs. But if this group right here stays healthy, and I'll be fine with that. I will be elated if that's the group we take into the playoffs. All right, other streaks. I think that about covered it. Yeah, I think that about covered it.
Nice. So I've got one for you, and this is going to lead in perfectly to our next segment. And I want to essentially put this out there, and then let's talk about it. Let's break it down as a whole. So if you take the 74 NBA champions, right, that have won it all, 72 of them were a 1 seed, a 2 seed, or a 3 seed. Okay. So you've got 50 of them that were a 1 seed, 16 of them that were a 2 seed, and 6 of them that were a 3 seed. So I say all that to say this. Brian, we have 2 weeks left in the NBA regular season, okay? So talk to us. How do we go about betting the final 2 weeks? And we're talking about looking at teams that are either in and don't necessarily, maybe not need to win, or maybe they're playing a little bit of seeding, but they've kind of wrapped it up. They're good to go. Teams that are fighting, teams that are pushing to get in the playoffs, and then teams that know that they're out, they're done, complete tank mode, stars are sitting. How do we go about betting the last 2 weeks? And then let's take a look at how do we start in the NBA playoffs, for the first weekend of betting those as well.
Okay, so right now, Utah's had the number 1 record in the NBA pretty much all year, but they've had Donovan Mitchell's been out, going on around 2 weeks right now, and I think he's going to be out like another week. And they've been resting Mike Conley a lot, and Phoenix is on a roll, and they're only 1/2 game back of Utah going into tonight, and Utah is off. And Phoenix is going to win at Cleveland tonight, so they're going to pull into a tie with Utah. What's making things really weird in the West is everybody wants to avoid the Lakers, and the Lakers are now in 7th. And this year they're doing the the play-in where the 7 seed and the 8 seed are going to have to battle the 9 and 10 seeds just to qualify for the postseason. So I think it's going to be kind of odd watching how Phoenix and Utah play this out to end the season, because they're going to do whatever they can to avoid the Lakers. But if the Lakers finish in 7th, you're not going to know whether I'm pretty sure on the play-in tournament that the 7th seed could possibly fall down to the 8th seed. If I'm not mistaken, I'll need to check that, but I'm pretty sure they can. Other things to watch seeding wise in the East. So the Knicks now want to have a 1.5 game lead over the Hawks for the 4th, 5th. The Hawks are only 1/2 game ahead of Miami. So if Miami beats Dallas at home tonight, they'll pull even with Atlanta. But Atlanta has the tiebreaker over Miami and Boston. But if they catch the Knicks have the tiebreaker over Atlanta. So Atlanta would love to get to 4th, but they're 1.5 games back of the Knicks right now. But just in terms of teams that are going to be a problem, it's the Wizards. I mean, right now they're in 10th, but they're getting close. I think they're only in fact, I put it in my column today. I think they're only a half game back of 9th, and they're within 1.5 games of 8th. And so I don't know that the Wizards are going to be 10th, but I know they're going to be in this play-in, and nobody wants to face them right now because Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal have really got it going. Their chemistry has really come along. And, I mentioned those stats. They're going to be a big problem. Dallas has got injuries right now. Porzingis is doubtful tonight. You got to look for – and then just the last couple weeks of the regular season, you got to look for these teams that are tanking. Like Detroit is tanking. Like tonight, they're resting like 6 guys, like Plumlee, Josh Jackson, Jeremy Grant. They're all their top leading scorers. So these teams are tanking bad. And so you don't want to bet on a team that is tanking until you know for sure who they're going to play at that night. And sometimes we don't know that till an hour ahead of time at best. So I hope I kind of hit on a few things, but just, in general, the Knicks are hot. The Wizards are hot. The Hawks are hot at home, but the Hawks are going to be hot now that they're almost healthy, whether they're on the road or at home, I believe, because they've got a lot more strength than they have in numbers, personnel-wise, here lately. I hope hit on it.
You nailed it. Yeah, I mean, that was perfect info, because, again, there's so much that's in the air, right? Teams that could be an absolute betting risk for you, So I think that's good information of, staying on top. Like you said, player personnel, guys that are in, guys that are out, guys that are starting is going to be incredibly important. This is probably a time, to kind of wait a little bit, as close to tip as possible in terms of putting in bets, because, if you do it 6, 7, 8 hours early, your whole bet could change.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's good information. Now, before we wrap the show up, Brian, let's run through again our picks for today, right? So give me quickly your 2 plays that you're on today.
Yeah, I'm on Sacramento -5 at OKC. I'm on over 216 for Dallas at Miami. I'm okay. I didn't put it in the parlay calculator yet, but if Clippers money line, Phoenix money line, and Sacramento money line, as long as that gets you to even money, and the Clippers and Phoenix are very expensive, so surely that would get you to even money, I think. I would be okay with that money line parlay, or if you want to, make it a little more generous, throw in that over 216 on Miami, Dallas, and the football wise, y'all know the big one for me is NFL Rookie of the Year. That's Kyle Pitts.
Your boy. Yeah. So yeah. And just to run through mine, obviously I'm on the Mets Cardinals over 6.5. Again, if you don't want to play that one with DeGrom on the mound, I totally understand it. You could supplement that with the Islanders at Sabres under 6. And then also I've got the Reds versus the White Sox. I'm taking the Reds on the run line at +1.5, although I think that they do win that game outright. So we'll end it right there. For Brian Edwards, I'm Alan Bell. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. We'll be back at you on Friday. We'll have some more bets. We'll see how long this streak. Brian, he's got 3 straight weeks of his Friday parlay hitting. We're going for 4. We're all cheering for our guys, but making us money. So, yeah, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Let's cash some tickets.
Good luck, everybody.